Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Lord Louie, bringing you an updated deck profile on the branded Despia. Got the deck down consistently to 40 cards. We've been using it for about 2 months now. Just been testing it out, doing different things, and I feel like this is the best the deck has been so far. I feel like we've gotten pretty far with it, just learning how to play with it, learning, all the combos, and the various lines you can go on depending on which situation we're in. And I'm gonna do some more test hand videos on this deck, but for now I'm excited to bring you guys the updated deck profile, including the Red Eyes Dark Dragoon and the Dark Magician. So let's get into it. So first up for the monsters, we got the one of Dark Magician. That's how we get to our Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. He's a good target for our Lure of Darkness. Just a good card to have in the deck. What's good about him too is when you have to discard for the Lubellion fusion, that's going to include bringing out the Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. If Dark Magician is in your hand, you can discard him for the Lubellion cost, and then he becomes a target for Lubellion, so it's not really a cost. And then we're down to our last two Bestials. We got one Lubellion and one Sorinir. Sorinir is important for our combo, so it's always good to have him in there, and Lubellion is a good light target for branded fusion if we want to go to our into our light dragon line. So it's just good to have him. And then we're running Ecclesia and Cartesia. The reason why I'm running Ecclesia is because she's basically a fusion deployment, a quick play fusion deployment, and she's also a light target for your branded fusion. So since we're only doing one Lubellion, it's just good to have another light target in the deck. And what's good about her is that just like Cartesia, she can recycle herself at the end phase, so she becomes a discard card for your Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. I was in a duel where I had both of these in the grave and they kept coming back to me at the end of every turn, so it's just good to have them because they're, two different names. And then we got 3 Fallen of Albaz. We're gonna stick to 3. We've been running 3. It's just good to have 3. I was versing a cash player and he banished 2 of my Albaz's face down, so it would have sucked if I didn't have the 3rd, but good thing I did. And we got 2 Mercurier. Mercurier is one of my favorites. He's a negate, he's a search, really good card. You get a search effect off very often, and then if you have branded lost out on the field, you can go into the play into branded fusion into him, and then you can just add another Mercurier with the branded lost effect. Not with his, because he can't add himself. And then for the last 2 one-ofs, we got a Kit and an Albion. Albion is our upstart, so we have to run him. And then Kit is our search in case we don't get into our Aluber, or even if we do, at the end we can special summon her if we have a fusion on the field, so she'll just allow us to add branded in white, branded in red. If we're already going to get the search off at the end, it's good to have her too because that's an extra search. And we have 3 Aluber, the search of the deck. Don't forget that when your fusion monsters leave the field, you can special summon him from the grave. It's just fairy, or if a fusion monster you control is destroyed or leave the field. So yeah, you can special summon him back, negate the opponent, keep yourself from losing the duel, special summon him in defense. You won't get a search off, but it's always good to know. And then for the last 2 of the Despias, we got Ad Libitum and Tragedy. Tragedy is really good, but I liked him as a one-of in the deck because sometimes you'll brick if you have 2, and you don't really need more than 1. Like, I haven't really missed the second one, but he's just a really good card. And Ad Libitum is really good to go with your branded in red. Just a great target for branded in red because then you can use one of your fusion monsters to just special summon them back. And we all know if it's Mirror Jade, you get to use its effect again. And then we got the 3 of Ash Blossom. If a card can beat you, you might as well run it. We'll stick to that. Good to target on your opponent, just to try to keep them from searching. This card won't win you the game, but if you use it correctly, it definitely can help a lot. And then we got the 3 branded fusion, the best poly in the game, fusion summon from the deck. Not much else to explain. Don't let it get Ash though. And then we got branded opening. I like seeing this card. Sometimes I'll see 2. I hate when I see 2, but you gotta run 3 just in case you don't get to your Aluber in your opening hand. And it's good to send it to the grave to protect your fusion monsters. So all in all, great card. And I love that it's quick play. You can use it during the draw phase to avoid things like Effect Veiler. And then for the 1-of branded spells, we got Branded Lost, Branded in White, and Branded in Red. Great card to search off in the end phase. Great to go with ad libitum. Branded Lost is basically a win condition. Sometimes you'll win off of the pluses of this card alone, and when your opponent, when you start fusion summoning, your opponent can't respond, so great card. And then Branded in White, our Miracle Fusion. Great card to extend into some crazy plays. If you got the Dark Magician and stuff in your hand or in the grave and the Albaz, just the easy way to get to Red Eyes Dark Dragoon or to, you know, get into Rhinebrum or anything like that. And then we got the Board Breaker Super Polys. Super Poly just allows you to win games you shouldn't have won. The fact that it can't be responded to and you can fuse away your opponent's entire board is just crazy. That's why we run all the Super Poly targets we do in the extra deck, because no matter what we run into, we can just Super Poly it away. And then the newest additions, we got the Crossout Designator. I was losing to Ash a lot, losing to Infinite Imperm a lot, and I just needed to get an out to it. And Crossout Designator, basically, if you get ashed or something, you can just declare Ash and then banish that target from your main deck, and if you do, negate its effects. So just a great card to have, just to negate Ash, negate Imperm, negate Infinite D-Barrier, all the stuff like that. And then we got the Allure and the Call by the Grave. So we took out the Gold Sarcophagus and we put in the Allure. And the Foolish Burial, and we put in the Allure, and we kept in the Call by the Grave to go with the Crossout Designators. So it's like we got 4 outs to Ash. And then the Allure of Darknesses I put in because, so whenever I realized I was using Gold Sarcophagus and Foolish Burial, I was really only getting the search off. But Allure of Darkness allows you to get the search off, and it allows you to draw 2 sometimes, or sometimes it will just allow you to draw 2, you know, if you're banishing an Albaz that you can later return, you know, with your Lubellion fusion. So this card just gives you an extra card, like basically, not just a search, but it might also, you know, give you something extra. So it's just really good to, I feel like right now, I feel like it's better. So that's what I'm using. And then we have the Branded Retribution and the Branded Banishment, the 2 traps that I use. You know, Super Poly and a Call of the Haunted, why not? And a negate that if you banish from the grave allows you to recycle your spells. This and Kit allows you to stay in the game. So yeah, I mean, I love these 2. And then yeah, that's the main deck. All right, now for the side deck, we got Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. This card is great, win condition, especially against Cash. Just a great card, can't be targeted, can't be destroyed by card effects. The only way you can out this card is if you have a card that doesn't target, and even then, you can negate it with its effect, and then it gains 1,000 permanently, so it becomes a 4,000 body, and then every time you use its effect, it gains another 1,000. Just using the effect one time against Cash just basically makes this card like unbeatable by them. I was versing a Cash player, and I just sat on Red Eyes, and I was able to win the duel. And we have Guardian Chimera. Great card to go on to with Branded in Red. Allows you to, you know, so basically what you want to do is you want to get Branded in Red out. You want to have a Mirror Jade. You want to use the Mirror Jade effect. Send a card to the graveyard from the extra deck. Hopefully, you know, to the Albaz fusion, so you'll get a search off. You'll banish the card that you don't target with Mirror Jade. And then you Branded in Red, you banish Mirror Jade with ad libitum. You special summon back Mirror Jade. So Mirror Jade is not a hard once per turn, so you get its effect again, and then you get the pop off by bringing out Guardian Chimera with Branded in Red because it was a spell card. So you get to pop cards on the field, you get that first Mirror Jade effect, and then you have a brand new fresh Mirror Jade. That's just a lot of interruption that your opponent cannot deal with. Then we have Guacamole Dragon. Great cards to send Sorneer to the grave. If you need to, you can send Rhinebrum to the grave, make it live. You can send, Dark Magician or Gimmick Puppet to the grave to finish off your combo if you need to. Just a great card to, extend the deck. And we got my boy Rhinebrum. Literally, Rhinebrum wins me games. Like, just with his return effect from the grave during the opponent's turn, and then his effect to negate and bounce. Literally just wins me games. Great card. Solo out to cash. And then I like using the Dragoon. The reason I like using the Dragoon is because it lets you special summon a Tri-Brigade monster or Fallen of Albaz from your deck. So sometimes I like special summoning the Albaz just to fusion summoning. And what's also good about him is that other monsters I control cannot be targeted by card effects. So he's basically just like, bothersome on the field when your opponent is trying to out your cards. And then, of course, we got 2 Mirror Jade. Got to run 2 in case they want to try to, take one out of your extra deck if you're playing a cash player. Or, it's just good to have 2 because you can extend into another one because it's not a hard once per turn. It's just you can only have 1 out on the field, but it's because it's just so overpowered because, it has that effect once it leaves the field. It destroys all of your opponent's monsters, so just a really troublesome card to deal with. Sometimes your opponent won't even deal with it because he just doesn't want to have all his monsters destroyed. And then we got 2 Rebellions, the Searing Dragon. I've been thinking about bumping it down to 1, but right now we're keeping it at 2 because I just don't want to get it ripped away by a cash player. Just a great card. And never forget that if the target that you want to use for his fusion summoning is in your hand, you can just discard it. Just never forget that for its cost. And then we got 2 Albion. Albion is a great card. That's why I have the extra Ecclesia, because it's just since I only have 1 Rebellion, I just want to have another light target, another way to get to my second Albion if I ever need to. And then we got the Despia and Quiritus. So right now, Despia and Quiritus is the only Despia monster I'm using in my extra deck. I've been thinking about keeping in the other one, Persekion, trying to bring him back. Right now, I prefer my super poly targets. And I kept Quiritus in because I like his effect to make the opponent's monster 0. It just makes it real troublesome for them to try to get over my monsters on their turn. And then he'll just special summon Albaz if he leaves the field by an opponent's card's effect. Or you can bring out a Despia monster so you can get your search off with your Aluber. And then we have the first super poly target, Garura, new card. So this one is the 2 monsters with the same type and attribute but different names. So just a good card to super poly away when you're versing a duelist that has, decks with the same types and attributes. So really good super poly target. And then you can send it to the grave with good Guacamole Dragon's effect, and you'll be able to draw a card. So just a good card. And then we have Predaplant, Dragoon. So I've been having a hard time sometimes against Sprite, and I just wanted to keep this in my deck because this is a really good card against Sprite. It changes your opponent's monster's level, so if they're trying to synchro summon, Xyz summon, or anything, you can just like change the level and then negate the effect too. So just a really good card to have, especially with the monster negate. And then we got Mud Dragon. You guys know how I feel about Mud Dragon. It's like a love-hate relationship, but he's a good super poly target. And his effect to, not allow your monsters to be targeted is really good, especially against stuff like enemy controller and all that jazz. Just a really, really good card. And yeah, that's the extra deck. All right, now for the side. We got 3 Nibiru. Nibiru is a great out to, rogue decks, even cash, stuff like that. Like, I just, sometimes you just don't want to get overpowered. And if you have the rock, it just makes your opponents play differently than if you didn't. If they even smell it, they'll be like, I'm going to go in a different direction. So it's a great card to have in your side deck. And then we got the Branded Explosion Gimmick Puppet combo. Just a good combo to have. I also want to get a Jinzo. Jinzo is really good to include with this because then you'll have an out to trap decks. I've been beating trap decks without it, but it'll be good to have the Jinzo because, then they won't be able to use their trap cards. But all in all, great combo. Stops your opponent from special summoning. Basically, if you go first, this wins you game if you main deck it. If you have it on the side and you lose round 1, it's a guaranteed win round 2 sometimes. But sometimes it will also cost you the game. Then I have the 1 infinite impermanence. It's basically just a target to cross out designator because I be getting infinited a lot. So yeah, I do have 3. Sometimes I put it in the side, sometimes I put it in the main. But right now I'm just using it as a target for cross out designator. And then for the spell and trap removal, we got Harpy's Feather Dusters and Twin Twister. I was versing a Labyrinth player and I used the Twin Twister, and it really didn't help much, but it was good because it just forced him to, you know, use his cards when he didn't want to, and sometimes just that alone will win you the game in Yu-Gi-Oh! So, you know, it's just good to have back row removal. And then we have the D-Barrier. D-Barrier is good to have in this deck because it's a target for cross-out designator, and it can also win you games. You know, you verse like a deck that fusions, synchros, it just make it really easy for you. And if somebody tries to use it on you, it's good to have it in your side deck so you can cross-out designator it. And then we have the Evenly Matched. Evenly Matched is a great going second card. It basically, you know, keeps the game even. No pun intended, but yeah, just a great card to have. Your opponent, the second you go into battle phase, you skip your main phase, they know what's about to happen. And, you know, the game's about to be tied back up. But yeah, that was the side. I hope you guys like the profile. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the April deck list. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate all of the support, all the comments. Your advice is really helpful. I follow you guys' advice, wins me games, and I really appreciate it. So, you know, just keep leaving comments. I definitely will do test hands. I just wanted to bring you this quick update on the deck. It's been doing really good. Wins me way more games than it loses me. And the games that I do lose, I could have definitely won. But yeah, just a great deck to play. If you guys have any idea of what other competitive decks we want to build, I was thinking about Sword Soul. Sword Soul seems like really fun. We do got our Trap Tricks deck, and I love the Trap Tricks deck. But I also wanted to like play something that synchro summons. I know this deck's gonna be getting synchro cards soon, but I don't know. But yeah, please guys, like, comment, and subscribe. 98% of you are not subscribed. It'd be really cool if you did subscribe so you know when the new videos come out. And if you guys want to see a Pokemon walkthrough of Ruby, I got like some of it already recorded, and if you guys do want to see it, just let me know. I feel like that'd be pretty fun. But yeah guys, have a good day. It's Lord Louis. I'm out. Stay safe.